Okay, now here we are in the Pridelands. So, yeah, this is basically before the boss fight with Scar. But I still have to get there first. So I wanted to show off some of the enemies before I get there. Yeah, because you're prey, right? Now, you know, it's kind of weird. Well, I wouldn't say weird, but, well, yeah, it is kind of weird. See, since we're out in the wilderness, well, the chests have basically been replaced with these things, and they're so tiny. I mean, even the big ones look so small. I sometimes confuse them for smaller ones. You don't expect Sora to do this. But he does the exact same things. You know what? I don't get why we need maps for separate areas. Why can't the maps be for the whole... why can't it just be for the entire world? And plus, why do we need to get a map anyway? It should be available from the beginning. I probably complained about that before, but still. I'm gonna say it again. Okay, now here is the limit for Simba. And it's a really useful move when fighting Scar. Where'd that thing? Oh, I killed it. Okay, I didn't finish I didn't show up the finishing blow. Because there was no Heartless around. But you'll see it anyway when I fight Scar. Now, the boss battle isn't actually next. I mean, we're gonna fight Scar soon, but I thought maybe, why not show off the encounter with the hyenas? So if you remember from the film, basically, Scar lets the hyenas take over, and his three goons were Shenzi, Bonsai, and Ed. The gimmick with them is that they run. They actually don't really do much damage at all, if any. I don't even think they hurt you. So if you're not fast, your second encounter with them will be pretty time-consuming. So you'll want to use Wildcat a lot. And like I said before, I really don't know if I want to do Ground Shaker. Ground Shaker's health bar is one of the longest in the game, and if that's not bullcrap enough, Simba is the only party member you can have. Now, earlier you'll run into these things riding these gigantic blue Heartless. And those blue things are really hard. See, it looks like this thing. Now, right now it has no head, and it's basically, you know, it's pretty vulnerable when it's like that. So, when you first get here, you see the ones that do have heads, and if you do the reaction command correctly, you can actually, their heads pretty much come off, and they're basically, you know, pretty darn easy. And it's funny how they're easier even with these other Heartless on their backs. They're basically like a miniature version of Ground Shaker. You know what? I don't even remember if I'm saying it right. I'm pretty sure his name is Ground Shaker. But you know what? Whatever he's called, he's a bullcrap boss. I'm sorry, but I hate that boss. And I know I'm not the only one. Do I have Leaf Bracer? Yeah, I know, I call myself a Let's Player, and I can't even tell you the names of these things. But you have to actually read the journals in order to know that. Anyway, wait a minute. Do I have Leaf Bracer? I don't. Maybe one of the green ones. Okay, I do have it. Now, Leaf Bracer basically just ensures that you don't get hurt when you're using Cure. Because when you use Cure, you're basically vulnerable to attack and you can get interrupted. And Cure basically won't work. So Leaf Bracer makes sure that you don't get hurt at all. You don't take damage when you're using Cure. You're basically invincible. And it's really stupid, and that's a separate move. But you know what? Who cares? Oh, and as you've probably noticed, I switched Keyblades now. So we have, first I had Hero's Crest, and now I have Circle of Life. And one frustrating thing about this is that, okay, I'm a lion right now, so I have no clothes, and that means that I can't use Drive. So until I can use Drive again, I actually can't switch any Keyblades for Valor form. Because I was going to switch Hero's Crest with the current Keyblade I'm using now, which is Starseeker. So, yeah, that's really not a big deal, but I'm mostly complaining about that because I tend to forget to equip things, and I know I'm not the only one.
Wait a minute, we're gonna fight your uncle for this?
Yes, Timon. This is my home.
So a lot of these cutscenes are pretty much ripped straight from the movie. Just a bit of extras.
Simba, you're alive. This kingdom doesn't belong to you.
Simba's the rightful king.
The choice is yours, Scar. Either step down or fight.
Must this all end in violence? I'd hate to be responsible for the death of a family member, Simba.
I put the past behind me.
But what about your faithful subjects? Have they?
Simba, what's he talking about?
Go on. Tell them who's responsible for Mufasa's death.
I am.
He admits it, murderer. If it weren't for you, Mufasa would still be alive. Do you deny it?
No, but it was an accident.
You're in trouble again. But this time, Daddy isn't here to save you. And now everyone knows why. Now, this looks familiar. I think I've seen this before. Oh, yes. I remember. This is just the way your father looked before he died. Here's my little secret. I killed Mufasa.
Murderer! Tell them the truth!
All right, all right. I did it.
Louder! I killed Mufasa.
Simba, you get Scar. We'll handle these guys. Excuse me, on me, coming through.
Okay, so now we have to fight the hyenas, and this is basically like an escort mission because we're pretty much protecting Timon and Pumbaa. And there's actually something like this earlier in the game, but with Minnie Mouse. But she had a move called Faith, and that could just fling any enemy far away from you. Timon and Pumbaa have nothing like that. So, yeah, the only thing you can do is call them over to you when the command is available. So yeah, just beat them up. So I like how in the cutscene Simba wasn't standing on anything when they showed him as a cub. You don't even hear them scream. So I know he did that in the movie. And I know how I said these cutscenes are basically ripped from the film, just a little extra, but really they cut a lot, which is understandable. But it really can't compare to the film. You know what? It's a video game, so yeah, I want to play the game. I don't want to watch like watered down versions of the film. So yeah, I know I said use Wildcat a lot when you take these guys down, but you can only do that when Simba's around. And you really want to use Wildcat a lot. Because the only reason I'm getting rid of them fast now is because we're in a confined space. You're going to have a lot more room to cover. You have to cover a lot more ground later on. But fortunately you'll have Simba with you, so you can use Wildcat. So 2 down. So yeah, they do damage, but they mostly run from you, so... Yeah, there's not much to worry about. In fact, I really shouldn't call those 2 over anymore.